Welcome back to Financial Strategies with Andrew Agemy in Connecticut and Daniel Agemy in Colorado.
So we're helping one of our clients. I'm going to call him Bob. We're helping Bob build a nice retirement plan for his work, right? For his company. He's an entrepreneur. He's making some really good money. Super blessed. The whole COVID thing's only helped their business, and they're making more money than what they know what to do with. And so we are helping him save that money, something like $300,000 a year, into a retirement plan just for himself. We're doing that at a tax discount, right? We're deferring that with him right now and not looking at getting that tax free right now. And he said, well, aren't taxes going to go up in the future? And we said, yes, most likely they're going to go up in the future. But what we're doing is we're setting up optionality for you. We love optionality here. We go both ways. Sometimes we talk about tax-free and sometimes we talk about tax-free right now, right? We go both ways, and we want to get him set up properly so he has the optionality in the future to take that out without paying taxes, even though it's in a taxable account. I'm Daniel Agemy.
I'm Andrew Agemy, and you're listening to Financial Strategies. And today's topic is rip off the Band-Aid and never pay taxes again. Daniel, that's pretty exciting. I know that situation, and I'm just loving it, because the guy is going to be saving 40 or 50% in taxes currently. And then, at some point in time, we'll be able to switch that over. And yeah, he'll pay taxes, but he's going to pay much lower, maybe let's say 25%, give or take, in taxes. So half the taxes that he's paying now, and then it will become tax-free at that point. So it's a beautiful case, but that's a great example of what we're talking about here. And that's for business owners that, especially if you're looking to transition out of your business and move on to retirement, or at least within the next several years. And especially if you have employees or somebody within your organization you want to sell your business to, that's what we specialize in. If you'd like to be able to give you some ideas along that line, that works phenomenally well for people. It doesn't work for everybody, but works phenomenally for some. And but ripping off the Band-Aid, never paying taxes again. And some of the things like you were talking about, Daniel, tax, you were talking about dividends, that you get tax break.
Qualified dividends.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Qualified dividends. We're talking about converting IRAs to Roth IRAs. We're talking about whole life insurance to be able to do some of that thing. Some people don't qualify for contributing to Roth IRAs. So there's what we call the Roth lookalike on steroids, that or rich man's Roth is another term for it, because it allows people who are making too much money that can't contribute to a Roth to do that. But like I said earlier, that when we're talking about conversions, there's no limitations in regard to conversions. And, some people decide, the sooner you convert to Roth, the better, right? Before you're collecting Social Security is a better time to do that, because you're going to get more bang for your buck and you're going to pay less taxes. Well, then if you and you're collecting Social Security, well, it's better to do it then than when you turn 72 and have to start taking your minimum distributions. But even if you go to 72 and you want to do some Roth conversions at 72, because it's going to save you money for when you're older, which is a beautiful thing. But you can't convert your RMD to Roth, but you can use your RMD to pay the taxes on the Roth conversion. So there's lots of different angles that you can look at depending what you're trying to do. And it's a customized approach. There's no one cookie cutter approach here. There's no one solution fits everybody kind of thing. You are individuals in our listening audience, and you need a situation that fits you. So when you're looking at getting some help, make sure that the people are going to customize it for you.
Yeah, and one of the amazing parts about investing for income is the longer you live, the larger that amount of money gets. So it's not a hope, it's a certainty, right? The dividends are going to compound and get bigger and bigger. Think about a snowball rolling down a hill. It's like that. It's just growing and growing and growing. So most retirees are fearful of running out of money the longer they live. And who knows? I mean, I don't know if there's studies on this, but who knows? Maybe there's studies that show that because they're so fearful, it actually shortens their life expectancies because in their mind, they're so fearful of living too long, right?
Right.
But that's
Right.
probably a whole nother subject. But
Here's the terrible thing. Yeah.
yeah. So instead of having to be fearful about the snowball reversing, right, and getting smaller and smaller as it goes and goes and goes,
Right.
it's the compounding. It's rolling down the hill. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So the longer you live, the more money you have. That's
Right.
the idea behind that. The difficulty comes in if the taxes are eating up that snowball when you take it out. And that's why we really want to talk about these, especially these three ways: maximizing your Social Security, right?
Right.
By taking money out of tax-free accounts, by setting up accounts so you can get money to make sure your Social Security is not taxable, if at all possible.
Right.
The qualified dividends, right? If you've got money that you're paying taxes on, and you can get that to pay you even more interest, right? That's what we're talking about. The bank account, if you're earning 0.01, or even if you're magically getting 1% or a CD, right?
Right.
And you change that to 4% in these preferred securities. But as long as you're in those tax brackets, it's tax-free, or it's taxed very little if you're making a ton of money. The Roth IRAs, and then like you said, that whole life, that cash value life insurance is another way where you can get money out and it doesn't even show up on your tax return. There's
Right.
no 1099 that you have to write off anything. It doesn't show up. And so some of those are neat ways. And then part of the strategy of planning that we were talking about is where if you still have, let's call it an IRA, right? You roll that 401k into your IRA and it gives you more optionality. Like, so we love that optionality where you like giving to your church, to charities, to the food bank, causes you care about. That comes out of those IRAs tax-free. Doesn't show up on your tax return, just like the other thing. And that helps you with Social Security and Medicare again.
Yeah, yeah, and you're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Agemy. Today's topic is rip the Band-Aid off and never pay taxes again. And a commission report that we have to give to you today that helps with some of the things Daniel just talked about is how to give and receive charitable contributions. And you can have this by either hitting us on our website, agemy.com, agemy.com, and contact us there and ask for it, or 800-725-7616, 800-725-7616, how to give and receive charitable contributions. Daniel, as we wrap up the show, we have a few minutes left in the show for this week. And, I wanted to make sure, that we're been talking about the pain of ripping the Band-Aid off. It's painful, but not as painful as what it could be over time. Paying $100,000 in taxes compared to $500,000 in taxes, it's a much lesser pain ultimately over time. But the pain of paying taxes, but the good news is being able to take money on a tax-free basis for whatever you need, whether it's income every month, it's maybe you want to take the family the whole family on a vacation of some kind, being able to take it out and not have to affect your taxes. That's a beautiful thing.
Tax-free income is a beautiful thing. We always talk about how income it solves so many problems. You can't have too much income. You get to choose, get that optionality again. It gives you optionality. Do you want to pay for your grandkids' college tuition? Do you want to go on an extra vacation? Do you want to buy, put an addition on your house? What are these kinds of things you want to do with the extra income? Or do you want to keep it compounding so you can pass more on to leave a bigger legacy? But it gives you that optionality. And when you tackle on the tax-free nature to that by making a plan on how you either want to convert that over or put it into other types of vehicles that can generate you some tax-free interest is a really exciting and a neat way to help you achieve your retirement goals and to help you support that lifestyle that you want to have, and not have to worry or stress about, well, to get the 100 I need to take 150, or to get the 100 I need to have 175, right? That's insane. That's not what you need in retirement.
Right. And you also don't need going on a trip and hearing that the stock market dropped and being able to be concerned about your money. There's a different way of investing so that you don't have to worry about that. And
somebody asked me the other day, when's the best time? When's the best time to start investing for income? Changing, from that 401k brain over to that dependable waterfall, right? That
Okay.
dependable income stream. When is the best time? Today is the best time, right?
Right.
Because it gets that stuff compounding faster for you. The sooner you start, the sooner it starts compounding for you. And then a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, you're like, why did it take me so long to do that? Because you start seeing that snowball getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's right. And people think they have to give up growth in order to get some more security on their investments, but that's not really true. It's just doing it differently. It's like my wife and I have 8 children, and it's just we do things differently than families that have 1 child or 2 child. We did it differently, and but still very, very fulfilling and very helpful. And same thing with your investments, be the same way. One of our friends has this saying that his definition of a perfect retirement is having more income than what you need for the rest of your life. And that's what we're interested in, being able to educate you on how you can have more income than what you need for the rest of your life, so that you can do what, at least financially speaking, you can do what you need to do for the rest of your life. Well, you've been listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Agemy. Today's topic's been to rip off the Band-Aid, never pay taxes again. We have a book to give to the next 5 callers at 800-725-7616 called Smart Retirement by Matt Segula. It's only about 100 pages long, telling you how you can take tax-free income at retirement if you prepare properly today. Again, Smart Retirement for free by calling 800-725-7616 if you're one of the next 5 callers, and we'll give that to you. And you've been listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Agemy. Until next week, we wish you a happy and healthy, stress-free retirement.